peeps? It's your girl, Lash. Come back from all takes. Well, it's that time, guys. It's reaction time, and this is to The Secret Invasion, episode 6, the final episode. This one is titled Home. I have been truly enjoyed this season of the show. I can't say it enough. Just, of course, at the helm being Nick Fury, aka Samuel L. Jackson, just giving us a different take and understanding with Fury's, past and a little bit, of course, present day of what's actually happening amongst him and some of his friends, and then just the world. Honestly, now I enjoyed some of these new characters immensely. One being Sonya, played by Olivia Colman. I enjoyed Gravik, played by Kingsley Ben-Adir. Definitely Gaia, played by Emilia Clarke, just to name a few. I've been totally enjoyed seeing Talos again. It's just finally getting understanding, like I said, going into the first episode of knowing what was going on with Fury. Now understanding, when that, of course, that snap happened, things happened, and then eventually them reappearing, what kind of toll it took on, and then truly, getting more of understanding once he kind of let it be known and spoke, his actual feelings about this, especially when you see the scenes, like I said, with either Maria Hill or the episodes with Talos, even a couple of things with Sonya. Now, being introduced to Gravik, played so good by Kingsley. At the beginning, young boy losing his family, being able to manage ship and all that. So the potential is there, as remember how Vara, aka Priscilla, stated, and knowing that the whole reasoning when we see was centered around, them coming to America, not knowing that a million of them there, hence Talos, making that well known later in the fact, but then knowing they wanted another planet so they can just be with their people. And then things going on for so long and that happening, and then knowing all the while this young man, can foresee, his overall agenda, whatever, but then it kind of shifting. As you see in that last episode, things kind of not going certain ways he planned. Of course, wanting, definitely want to deal with Talos, but the whole reason was to deal with the president, Ritson. And then you're seeing a little bit unraveling, your people around you not really believing in you, making comments like, Pagon said about, Fury not having faith in you and him killing him, and then that poor young boy who believed in him and called him a monster, and then he's like, you all are faceless, so you really don't care about your people. You made it about them near the beginning probably, but then as time goes on, unless that was kind of not true, whatever, no, you became angry and all that because things were not being done at a pace probably for him. And that's unfortunate, and certain casualties along the way to get to where he's trying to get to this moment now, because now he wants, as he said, the harvest, and he knows Fury clearly didn't trust you. Pagan wasn't wrong there. Otherwise, you would have had it, and then we would have seen what happened. But now that we're going to come across this conclusion, feel bad for Gaia losing her father. I was sad about their bond, at the beginning, kind of being strained. What happened to her mother, and then what happened to her father. I enjoyed her being able to lay him to rest the right way with the help of Vara. I love the scenes between her and Vara. Certain things having to be, discussed into her attention, a little bit more eye-opening for her, knowing that she took some of the some of those super scroll powers. I look forward, I pray we see some of that in this episode between her and Gravik, because I really want to see the showdown there. And just being where, like Fury said, don't let things that help that have happened to you, and I understand, hold you back. Like he said, this is your time now to step up and do what you need to do. You could probably be that leader like your dad was, a general. Certain things happen. He probably couldn't sway as much and all that, but he had a good-natured heart for his people. And then the allies. He worked very closely, him and Fury, and I know it hurt Fury leaving him there just to, help the president. Seeing what's happening, wanting to know what happened with Rose, what had happened, when was he, switched out. That part as well, knowing how Sonya feels about the scrolls, and knowing how they're thwarting and living amongst us. How many, like I said, now we know definitely is a million. Want to see what's going to happen overall with that whole situation. Will it be resolved? Will we see them being able to go? Because I'm curious, will we get another season? I would love that to be. I mean, who knows? the way they're doing the storyline, the potential is there, or they might be able to wrap it up. I don't know. I'm just jumping out there. But again, I love this so much that I would love them to do another season. You know, this was just done so effortlessly. You know, some of the episodes were long, some were not, and that's fine. It was right to the point, how I like it. You know, I know I'm rambling on, but I want to get this all out, whatever, because I'm probably going to really want to discuss in detail this last and final episode, whatever's popping off. But just to put that out there, I've kind of got that off my chest. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into it. I'll save the rest of my thoughts with them, you guys.
President, we need to stay focused on honing your response to the attack on your motorcade.
Respectfully, we still need time to confirm that this was, in fact, an official Russian act.
Did you take a stupid pill with your breakfast this morning, Admiral? What happened on that motorway was an all-out assault on our republic.
What are we looking at here, Colonel Rhodes?
Real-time satellite imagery, sir. This is the Russian tanks. The American people need to hear from you, sir. They need your leadership. They need to understand who's responsible for this. Hello?
You have to get him out of there.
Who?
The president, you bloody idiot. Fury's headed straight for you. For what? Target practice? Fury's lost it. He wants written stop before the bomb is launched. Move the president now.
Fury!
Pull out, pills. That's a shame, innit? No more protection for you.
Rudy, wait. We're taking you to safety, Mr. President. Hey, we're moving the president upstairs.
Fury, tell me you got a backup plan. Your Avengers on standby. What about that invisible cloak and shield? This face. This was the first human I killed. You know why I killed him? I killed him because you told me to. But I killed him because of you! I killed him, and I killed so many more. And everyone I killed took a little piece out of my heart. I'm supposed to be like Talos and put my trust in you. You pimped us, Fury. You put us out to work for you, and when you were done with us, you threw us away. Look at me. Look at me. You did this. All the bombs and the blackouts and the massacres and the wildfires and the imminent removal of humans from their habitat. I came back to Earth. You were the youngest Skrull on my team. I felt responsible for you. A harvest. In exchange for what? That you take it, take your powers, go to some other planet, leave Earth the hell alone, and leave it now.
Watch that door.
Sir. Your gun. Your gun, goddammit. It's pure.
Okay, you can move him in here.
No checking behind the doors.
Oh my god. Jesus! Oh my god!
Try to aim that gun to your left, sir.
Shoot him right now, Mr. President.
I'm not here to hurt you, sir. But he is. Rudy.
You killed my mother, my father.
all our enemies will be gone.
Yeah.
That's good.
She's right. Just delay the strike. If I'm wrong, you can send me to prison and flatten Russia.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Oh,
Gross?
was that the paper too? Oh,
That is why tonight I presented to Congress for immediate emergency authorization a bill that designates all off-world born species enemy combatants. We know who you are.
I love you,
oh.
son. I'm here to ask you for one last chance. I'm leaving tonight.
Let's be sure not to repeat the mistakes of Talos and Fury and leave love and friendship out of this. I will use you, you will use me, and together we'll make this planet safe for both our people.
I was relieved that we ain't made it out alive.
Oh.
Relieved too. Until I watched that hateful ass speech you made.
This is how the enemy got so good.
Before the hit squad you inspired kill off the scrolls who still want to help us. Now you got dumbass vigilantes killing innocent humans too, when they're not getting killed themselves.
If you truly care about the scrolls, you'll know my plan.
Hold a minute. Priscilla.
Bara,
Oh,
now that humans know we're among them, I'd like to use my birth.
With this peace summit, you're the best diplomat the scrolls have ever had. I'm no good with people. You are. Come with me.
I just wanted to tell you that I love you.
Only as you are.
all right, you guys. I really enjoyed this episode. So good. Glad I got my showdown between Gravik and Guy. I'm gonna get into that. Seeing, Fury thinking, because at first I really was thinking, is Gravik really gonna get the upper hand? What are they gonna have to do to kind of stop him from causing the strike to go through and the president, giving the go ahead with Rose, aka Rava? Clearly, I like the way he thinks. Him and Sonya Fallsworth pretty much strategizing the best way, and I like how she thinks, very, very calculating about it, smooth, calm, collected about the way she goes about the business at hand. I'm here for that. Always clear heads prevail. I will say I enjoyed the scene between Fury and Gravik, where he explains, because I kind of wanted to know when he ended up getting that face he did, come with it. I like how they always make that statement. Same thing with Priscilla, with Vara. Him saying, this person had a family and all that, and, granted it wasn't right, but you still did it. You right. He said, because of you, I went on, my first kill was the face I'm wearing. I'm like, wow. to know that, you know, you followed, you know, anything Fury said, but then the fact of always using him as the guide as to why you did what you did, and to the point to all the way up here with all this animosity and anger you had and vengefulness. And it's just like, after a while, it's like, no, this has nothing to do with fear. It's truly something that's within you, and you just kind of, it's manifested, and here we are, to the point where you had no problem getting rid of your own people. Casualties all around. You're not to be trusted, but then, you know, you want them to do all this bidding for you, this and that, another, and they did. But then as things, as I said, turned out, as time goes on, you know, that hard shell was cracking. And just listening to him talk to him, saying all this, you know, he was like, you know, here's a harvest, you know, go to some other planet and do this, do whatever you want there, or don't do that. But then of course he takes it, he checks it. Now let's talk about, I try to get as many names in my mind to remember. I think I saw Thanos, I saw Hulk, Captain America, Winter Soldier. What did I see? What was it? Oh God. What was it? Frost Beast, I think I saw. Valkyrie. Oh gosh. I'm trying to think, is anything else I'm missing? Drax. There's some more, because it was going through some names, but these are names just truly just popping in my head. And that's enough. And I said Captain America, I think that's it. So just imagine the amount of powers we checked to make sure it was pure. And then, of course, he's like, yo, you must want to die. I'm like, he's following through. He's doing his part. But see, with you, that's why I said, not trustworthy. He gives you this, and you still want to do what you want to do. Because that whole speech of him, I'm going to kill you, then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and all, look at me, whatever. I was just like, oh, my God. If you don't, like, oh. I so wanted him to get what he so rightfully deserved, and he did. You know, he's doing all that, and, you know, telling him to prepare himself, because being inside, you know, that whole thing when it's doing this thing, it will probably hurt him and all that, unbeknownst to me. And it just didn't resonate at the moment, because I'm thinking, okay, when Vara and Guy were having to talk, like, be careful and all that, should have realized when she inquired where he was going that she would eventually turn back up. And turned up right where she needed to be. When he tried to hit him, and that hand came out right there, I was like, wait a minute. Because I know damn well if you're going to start, going to just automatically going to just turn to all those type of characters, just like, I don't know. Should have known it was Guy, but that's okay. The surprise of it was just so beautifully done. When she smacked the crap out of him, he flew up in that air like that, unbeknownst to him, not realizing, oh yeah, buddy, she got the powers too, meaning she already had part of the powers because of those two doctors, and then here we are. So in the midst of this, you know, the showdown, then of course, you know, Rose, you know, aka Rava, trying to protect the president, and Sonya setting up, you know, a little trap for him, and him falling forward and just killing off his men as they try to kind of, you know, keep him safe. And then Fury being where he really needed to truly be, is near that president to make sure, you know, the fake Rose doesn't get his upper hand, all that, and cause a strike to go through. And in the end, his real self was, you know, revealed. Now, with that said, of course, it was able to stop the strike, and Guy was able to get in there and free all of the civilians, all the, you know, certain government officials that were in there. We see our two, you know, agent was I can't remember his real name on it, whatever, but Martin Freeman's character, and then we see our real Rhodes, you know, okay. And it was just like, and then of course, you know, Pagon, the real guy who's actually part of the military and all that, you know, him coming out in his actual military garb. So it was just nice to know that she was able to get in there and save them and explain to them what was going on. Because I was like, where did he get snatched up? How long ago? Because I know a lot, not just me and some other people reacting, were like, where did the switch out happen with him? So clearly around the same time, you know, you probably don't know the real timetable, but you know. Now, with that being said, I like how towards the end you see the shift now with the president. You see him threatening, you know, other world species and all that. You know, putting out that hateful speech and all that. And I like how Fury was just like, he's like, oh, why are you doing all these other things? You got these vigilantes on here killing, you know, actual civilians, human people and all that, and causing stuff to be more worse and all that. He's like, yeah, that sounds like, you know, the mindset of a one-term president. Look on his face when he said that part. I was like, yeah, you're not doing a disservice. And I'm glad that in the end Gaia and Sonya decide to team up, you know, to keep the scrolls safe, because as Satella said, he says about 1 million of them on there, and they're amongst them and they don't know. So when he's out there trying to kill people, think, oh, this one might be a scroll, this might be, you could be killing just human people, so you don't realize you're doing something that's not potentially going to be helpful. If you end up being more casualties, because they say as the more you're on longer on there, the more, I'm assuming they'll be able to, being able to turn back to school. I think, I don't know if it reciprocates, whatever. I could be wrong, whatever. Somebody has probably school me in the comments, that's fine. But it makes you wonder if they'll be able to, kill them, and then, if they're still in a human form, they shoot them if they've been here on Earth so long. Because remember now, when we saw initially, it was so many years ago, it was back in the early 90s. I don't know if it was, 30 years ago when they did it, like 93, 94, from the year when we eventually were presented with graphics. I'm just trying to remember the time stamp from, I don't know if it's the second or third episode when they noted that. But I will say, glad he said it, but then that part talking about get off my planet, like, but if you don't sit down somewhere, if it wasn't for him, your ass wouldn't be alive. Excuse my language, but it needed to be said. You're not doing anything in this moment to make yourself look good, honestly, with that whole little spill. But okay. And he'll be back on the planet that he should rightfully be. But right now, I'm kind of glad that we get to see him and Vara go off into the sunset together, on Saber. I like how she was like, they both loved each other, and she's like, and she said it, as her true self, how much she cared for him and loved him and all that. And I just love the kiss. I got a little teary-eyed and all, seeing that. And I just love that. She's like, I'll come with you, but my work is here. And I'm like, oh. So with that said, I so enjoyed this episode. What I want to know is this. Are we going to get another season? Is it a possibility? That would be nice. I mean, the potential is there. The way the president, that little conversation, all that, the species and all that, uprising with them. You see what was going on. The evil was, being, continued on, all that, and seeing that Sony was able to find what was going on. You see the look on Guy's face, which all those people, tethered to whatever that was going on. I'm like, oh my God, like, what were y'all really doing? Like, you had extra something as a backup, whatever. So it's going to be very interesting. I'm waiting to see what will be the news if that is the case, if people take a liking to the way this whole entire season was done and the final conclusion on the episode, if that is possible. I hope so. I'm always here for Nick Fury. Love Nick Fury. Jackson does him such a service, that particular character. So with that said, you guys, comment below. Let me know what you think. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next reaction. You guys take care.